A simple sentence, but full of emotional outbursts. The family can, the other does not. Those are the words that quietly reverberated in online forum spaces, blasting controversy deep down to the root of the emotions of fans around the world. Not only the army, but also South Korean military observers, K-pop fans across fandom, even politicians do not stand still. They ask, question, and insist on clarification. It all started with one name, Jungkook. Amid the silence of South Korea's notoriously strict military, now comes a question that shakes logic. Why is it that only family is allowed to visit Jungkook during his military service? Why are the rules of the visit as if multiplied for the sake of an idol? Is this a form of exception? Or is there a reason behind the scenes that the public doesn't want to know? The day was as usual. A simple upload on the Korean fanbase community left cyberspace speechless in suspense. One of the fans shared leaked information from a conscript officer who claimed to have seen Jungkook live while undergoing military training at a secret location. Nothing strange, except for one thing that shook. Only his family members got access to meet in person in a private room. Meanwhile, celebrity friends, even fellow BTS members, are prohibited from entering. This news spread like a virus, unstoppable, wild, and invited various interpretations. Some people tried to calm the situation, saying that this procedure is customary to apply for security reasons. But a large group of others flatly rejected that explanation. They blamed this special treatment, even calling it a form of military favoritism towards Jungkook. That, of course, the public did not remain silent. The army, known to be both loyal and sharp, split into two poles: those who fully supported Jungkook's military decisions for his safety, and those who were disappointed that his idol was considered privileged. Some even refer to this as a form of indirect discrimination against other artists who do not receive similar privileges. But this story does not stop their point. One of the most surprising things that later emerged from this controversy was the leak of an internal document that discussed special visiting procedures for military personnel with high public status. In the document, there was one sentence that caused tension. Members of the nuclear family are allowed to visit the quarantine area under strict protocol, but it does not apply to outsiders, including other celebrities, without special approval from above. And what is more surprising, in that list, only one name was manually marked in red ink: Jungkook. Does this mean that the military really made Jungkook a figure who received preferential treatment? Or is this just a preventive measure so that there is no noise around the military site? While the public was busy guessing, from the other side came the shocking confession of an anonymous military officer quoted by South Korean media who declined to be named. He said, "We had requests from 3 other artists who wanted to meet the family inside. We declined, but then there was a request from Jungkook's family. We were given a signal from above that it was okay. We're just executing orders." The statement instantly created a storm of opinions. Is the South Korean military subject to HYB's pressure? Or is there government interference trying to maintain a positive image of South Korea in the eyes of the world by ensuring Jungkook remains in top psychological condition? Not a few mention that the presence of a family for a soldier is a human thing. But why is it that when it happened to Jungkook, the public felt this was a form of arrogance, a luxury hidden behind military uniforms? On the emotional side, there are things that make this controversy even hotter. One of the army seniors who has been following BTS since their debut made a thread on Twitter containing a long cry. He wrote, "We are your family, Jungkook. But why do you only choose your own family to be close to when you are in a difficult time? We who have been with you from the beginning, through the storm, cried with you, and now can only see you from afar." The thread went viral, shared hundreds of thousands of times, creating a new narrative. Is Jungkook starting to move away from the public, from the army, from the world that raised him? Will the military be the turning point of an idol who used to always say, "Army is my home"? Then came the analysis of a Korean cultural psychologist who said that in Eastern cultures, blood ties are often considered stronger than emotional ties. But for an idol like Jungkook, it's often the opposite. He shows more love for his fans than his family. So when he now only opens access to his family, the public gasps. What exactly is it? Not long after that, another surprise appeared. A military photographer leaked a photo, Jungkook sitting alone with his mother, in a simple room with curtains tightly closed. No smiles, no laughter, just highlight the eyes full load. Netizens began to associate this with the psychological pressure Jungkook may be experiencing. Does it hurt? Is he stressed? Is HYBE hiding something? Inevitably, netizens began to develop a theory. Jungkook was going through the toughest military period of his life. And the only reason he needs a family is because he doesn't want to look fragile in front of fans. Is this a sign that Jungkook is changing? Is his closeness to family a sign that the glittering world of idols is beginning to lose meaning in his eyes? HYBE Entertainment issued a two-sentence statement. Jungkook is currently serving his military duty with full responsibility. All procedures have been followed in accordance with military regulations. But the public is not satisfied. They're hungry for an explanation. They wanted deeper clarification. What was really going on behind those military walls? And of course, the public began to remember the past. They recalled an old incident where Jin, the first BTS member to enter the military, did not get a family visit for the first 2 months. The same goes for J-Hope and Suga. But why only Jungkook gets that right? Is it too special? Or too vulnerable? Some people even accuse this as a form of soft privilege, a new term to describe unwritten rights granted simply because someone has global influence and popularity. And unfortunately, according to netizens, Jungkook is now a symbol of that inequality. While all eyes were on Jungkook, there was one surprising voice coming from a former soldier who was also a fan. He wrote in an online forum, "You have no idea what it's like to wake up at 4 in the morning, sleep only 3 hours a day, and have to stay strong. If you think Jungkook is treated special, try to experience his combat training for yourself. He's still human, and people need families." The comments invite sympathy as well as debate. On the one hand, the public began to rethink. Perhaps Jungkook is indeed in a fragile point. But on the other hand, they feel that justice must still be done. If no other celebrities can visit, then Jungkook shouldn't either. This news not only shook Korea. Japanese, Chinese, and even European media began to report Jungkook's special treatment. They refer to this as K-privilege, a kind of unwritten social status that big idols have in South Korea. There was even a headline that wrote, "Jungkook isolated from fans. Only family allowed in the military zone." Meanwhile, in silence, the army in various parts of the world began to write letters, not only to Jungkook, but also to the South Korean Ministry of Defense. They demand transparency. They want to know, is it true that only families are allowed? What is the legal basis? And until now, there has been no answer. What exactly is going on? Does Jungkook really get special treatment? Or is this just a form of affection for a child to his parents? In the midst of a stressful military battlefield,